Assalamu alaikum, Dr.
everyone.
Nader.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Dr. Amal, I'm not sure where she is, but me and her are supposed to present the app, how to build an app, and present the app to the fellows, inshallah, now. I'm just going to try to get a hold of her to allow her to share the screen, inshallah.
Sounds good. So I'm going to just share the agenda for today. So welcome everyone to the meeting, and congratulations to all those who matched this year. And I wish you all the best, as well as for all those other fellows. Don't give up, try your best again, and I wish you all the best. So for today's meeting, we have the agenda, and Dr. Ali will moderate this meeting. So I'm happy for Dr. Ali. You can go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, congratulations for all match applicants for their great achievement, and best luck in the new endeavor. And also for those who didn't match, you're still breathing and you have the power to win again. You have to focus on to improve your CV, and good luck in the upcoming season, and you will make it, inshallah. Also, I would like to say thank you, Dr. Nadir, for your support and guidance. And we are lucky to have you as a teacher, and also you are great inspire for everyone in this group. I truly appreciate everything I have learned from you and from the fellow. And I would say that this group have a major contributor behind this achievement. Thank you again for your guidance and support.
You're welcome. You did all the best. You did all the work. So for me, it's just another.
Thank you. And yes, the meeting today to discuss Paris, the match resident or applicant, to tell or share their stories. What do you think what is the I'm sorry, what make you a good applicant or a unique applicant, and what is your advice to the colleague and upcoming applicant?
So we're gonna start the discussion. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead, Dr. Nader.
So this is an open platform for everyone to chip in and share their experience, their tips, their highlights about what happened in the past few months, last few weeks, and how did they match, and what unique about them, as Dr. Ali mentioned, what made them unique compared to other applicants, and if there is anything that can improve their chance for the other fellows, what they can do to improve and achieve the same goal.
So, yes, we can start with Dr. Ragda. Go ahead, Ragda.
Hi, this is Ragda, and congratulations for everyone who matched. And I feel really sorry. I know how it's hard for not to match. No matter what I say, I know we're not going to accommodate the emotions and all that, but eventually we know it was for good, inshallah. So this is my third cycle, and I'm really happy. I don't want to sound heartless, but I'm really happy that I didn't match the first two cycles. I wasn't ready in my life, financially, and the family-based life, and anything. And you would know that when that's like in the future. You wouldn't know now, because now you will be filled with all the anger and the upset. And I know how this make you feel not confident the way you are, but eventually gonna happen, inshallah. So I matched in my third cycle. And I believe what's really helped me in this cycle, being an old international medical graduate who graduated in 2015, that I did my SEP 3, regardless what the score is, just go ahead and do it. And I did it, I only studied for SEP 3 in 2 months, and I was having a newborn, so it's doable. And the second thing that really helped me, the interview skills. Don't show them that you're desperate to match in their program, and at the same time, Don't show that you are too arrogant. If you know the balance between these, so you got it. Yes. Like yes, I will be happy to match a new program, but at the same time, that's not what I got. Even if it's only your only interview. I remember in the program that I match at now, they one of the faculty, she asked me if this is your only interviews. Although at that time it was my only interview, I was like, no, I got a couple of interviews. I was a liar, but I'm not gonna show her that I'm desperate. And give your all. Like invest in this thing. So the first year I applied only to 45 programs. The second year I applied to 100. This year I applied to 183 programs. It was a lot of money. All our saving we put it there. And if you remember, guys, when I had to cut my vacation to come from Saudi Arabia for the second visit, and actually this is the same program I came for the second visit for, like White River. They invite me for a second visit, and it was really helpful. You get to know the hospital, everyone. You can shine by being chatty and being visible to the program director and everyone, so they can remember you during the rank list. And send a lot, when I say a lot, it's like tons of letter of interest. I start sending these letters since July, even before the match starts. For each program I sent 7 or 8 letter of interest. So send as much as you can. And after the interview, you have to make something memorable during the interview, something you said, something happened in your life. Because I remember when I was in Saudi Arabia, when the program director, he was like, good morning. I was like, sorry, I'm the evening side of the word. So when I sent the thank you letter, I mentioned that. I was like, I'm the applicant who was on the other side of the word. So he remembered me by this simple thing. And what else? And of course, this research fellowship, just be smart when you write it in your CV. Like, say like Michigan State University, and they're going to ask you, are you in Michigan? Then you will, of course, say it's a virtual platform. That's really added to me. Although by the time I submitted my application, I had no publication, no abstract done. It was only submitted abstract. But it was really good help. And I don't believe connection really work. I had a lot of connections, but I didn't get an interview from the connections. What helped me was my letter of interest, step 3 of the interview skills. Thank you. If anyone has a question or wants to talk to me privately, they can go ahead. Thank you so much, everyone, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Barbara. It's excellent.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dagda. And next is Sushma.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sushma. And first of all, thank you so much for creating this platform, for all your support, your guidance, Dr. Nadir. And this has been a great team. And I really like that we're all there for each other. And, we've all been supporting each other. It feels very nice to be a part of, part of a team. And, because until I joined these teams, I used to feel like I was struggling alone. But then when I joined this, I felt like there was some camaraderie, which really helped, which really boosted, my confidence. I agree with what the previous person said. Like it is important to to stay confident during the interview, and letter of intents or interests are very important. I also started writing it back in July, before the application season started. Most people do not reply, but some people will remember you. And during the application, during the interview season also, it's important to keep sending letter of interest, because I got an interview like 1 hour after I wrote a letter of interest. And one tip that my friend had given me was, you try to personalize the letter a little bit, instead of just sending one letter to all programs. Just read a little bit about your program, find something common in your CV, and try to say how you would be a good fit to that program. So you try to tell them why it would be beneficial to give you a chance. So that I wrote a letter like that, and then I got an interview 1 hour after I wrote that. So that is one tip I think it's important. And another thing is, when you go to the interview, I'm a very old applicant. First of all, this was not my first match. I in fact lost count how many times I've applied. So I would always like concentrate on on my red flags in my application, on things that I had done wrong in my application. But then one tip that somebody gave me, my mentor gave me last time, was concentrate on the things that you have done right, that are good in your application. Because if out of 1,500 people, if they've invited you for an interview, that means that they see something in your application. That means that you're a good candidate. So this time around, I changed my approach. I changed my attitude. I went into the interview, thinking, concentrating on my positives and trying to, show them my positives. So that made a very big difference. So the interview, I was like more confident, and more I felt that I could, like that I felt that I deserved this chance. So that really made a difference. And like, just keep practicing, and don't lose hope. Like I told you all, this was not my first match, and every time I have gone unmatched, I understand what you guys must be feeling now. I've been like very disappointed, and questioned about everything that I've done, all my mistakes, everything. But it's important to take 1 or 2 weeks break, but then pick yourself up, concentrate on what you can do better to improve your application. Like last year, I'm a psychiatry applicant, so I actually published more papers. I presented posters in national conferences, and I started doing a 1-year fellowship in psychoanalytic psychotherapy at the Philadelphia Psychoanalytic Institute. So this was something that I was asked in my resume. And I also volunteered to be a crisis text line worker. So all this really showed my interest in psychiatry. And it showed that I was doing something different, because the first question I was asked in every interview is, what have you been doing since the time you didn't match in this 1 year? So this gave me a chance to talk. Even this geriatric fellowship, I got, because of this, I got a chance to explain what I've been doing in this 1 year. So all these things are like important. You find, if you're internal medicine or other fields, just find things that you can do differently, like even volunteering, everything. All this will help. And just don't only focus on the final goal of matching. Like, take it one day at a time. Because like last year, it was when I was writing these papers, I would just feel happy about these small successes, like taking one day at a time, finishing one paper, finishing one task. So that would boost my confidence, and that would give me hope. Because if you're always only targeting the final end result of matching, yeah, that is important, I'm not saying no, but don't only focus on that. That time you get very frustrated, or at least that happened to me. So I used to get very frustrated and very desperate, and feel very helpless. So when I was doing these when these small gains, these small victories really boosted my confidence, and it helped me push through this 1 year wait. So I would give that advice, that you just keep targeting these small goals, small victories, feel happy, and try to enjoy the present, and spend time with family. All that is also very important. So yeah, I think these are the advice I would like to give. And just hang in there, you guys will definitely match. And after so many attempts, I matched with a few red flags too. So I just want to tell you all that, hang in there, definitely you will match. Keep working hard and persevere, it will happen. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, please message me or call me if you guys have any questions, or if you need any advice. Thank you, Dr. Nadir, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sushma, and congratulations again.
Thank
Do you
you.
have any question for Ragda and Sushma?
Pardon?
I said, do you have any question for Ragda and Sushma?
No.
Yes, Dr. Arij, I have a question from Dr. Ragda and Dr. Sushma. First of all, many congratulations, our fellows. It's a very, it's a proud thing. And best of luck, all of us. We can do it. Yes, Dr. Ragda and Dr. Sushma, you mentioned about the letter of interest, and this was my first cycle. But from my experience, I sent so many letter of interest. even though I have tracker, they are reading they read my email, but nobody even like bother to reply my like letter of interest, or this is a usual thing, or I also have few red flags. I am also old graduate, so this is a very common, or like what should we do? Please, I need your feedback.
Yes, so I had also applied to 125 programs, and in my first cycle, like right after September, I sent out my applications. I actually sent letter of interest to everyone. Okay, that was the first thing I did, and like later in the cycle, I started shortlisting the programs where I thought I had a chance, and I started targeting them. Like some will send you rejection, but yeah, like you said, most of them did not reply to me either. Most of them did not reply. Very few of them will reply, but because I mean, understanding that they are also super busy and they have like many applicants like us applying, and then they're filtering applications. So some people will respond. So what I would say is like just target a few programs later in the cycle. Target a few programs and personalize your letter of interest intent. Like I told you, like find common things in your application and in their program, and try to put that in your letter. So this is common what you're saying, like not everyone, like in fact 90% of them will not even reply. That's common. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sushma. And my next question, like everybody say like we are old graduates, so we have to target some community programs and not university programs. Is that correct? Like this is like how we like target in our application, because like when we are going to search according to our profile, we are getting the mixed search, like some are the community programs, some are the university big programs. So what means like what we target according to our old year of graduation?
I agree with what everyone is saying, but on like you said, we can't only target community programs because it's a very small number. So I did apply very broadly, but I've noticed that so far I've mostly got interviews only from community programs. I've got university interviews maybe just twice till now, but mostly it's been community programs. So community programs, you like have a better chance, but I would say you still apply broadly, but target community programs. Like just focus on letter of intent to them, and focus maybe like personalize your personal statement a little bit. Just few programs. I'm not saying you should personalize all 180, but yeah, maybe like few programs where you think you have a good chance, and try to build a rapport or communication with them way before the application cycle, like in July. So this is how you may be able to target some of the community programs.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sushma. Wish you good luck with your new journey.
Thank you, and all the best to you too.
Thank you, Sushma. Our next presenter, advisor is Dr. Muhtasim Idris. Go ahead. And congratulations.
Hello, everybody. And congratulations for those who match, and sorry for that who didn't match. And it just you're gonna make it. You are do a lot of things. You just have the last. You are in the edge, so you're gonna make it soon. In my experience, I didn't have a lot of experience regarding this match, but it's indeed the guidance of you as a team, and also guidance of Dr. Nader and help of my colleagues from everywhere in the United States. To me, I'm old graduate too, and also it's kind of like graduated 2013, and this is my first time, so I didn't have a lot of experience. But with guidance of my colleagues, that's make a difference to me. My advice for everybody that just concentrate in one field. Like if you like to apply to many specialty, I think this kind of like make your CV is not looking good because you didn't concentrate in specific things. So just concentrate in one specialty. If you need two specialty, just two, not more than that, in my opinion. And always ask for help. Don't ever do things alone. Even if you need to send an email, just ask your senior or your colleague about this email. They will give you an advice that may make a change. So never do things alone. Always ask for help from your colleague and from everybody, because we are all in the same boat to get this journey. And this fellowship, it's helped me a lot. Every interview I get, everybody, they ask me about this fellowship, because as I am here, I didn't have a lot of experience in the United States. So this fellowship is kind of like my only experience in the United States. So I study, even I study how to, I repeat the response, how to, if they ask me about the fellowship, and I do it with my colleague. And then after they ask me, I said what I practicing. So it's make a difference to me. And thank you for everybody. And if you need any help that I can do, I'm willing to help, and good luck for all.
Thank you, Muhtasim. Congratulations again. And I agree with you regarding the applicant to apply for one or more specialty, not more than that. I think that good advice from you. So we can go with Dr. Ayman Muhammad. Congratulations, Ayman, and go ahead.
Thank you so much, Arij, and thank you for everybody. Thank you, Dr. Nader. Actually, I have unique experience. I want to share it with everybody. If you have someone, I am all grad, and officially this is my first application, but I applied last year for just around 30 program. I didn't get any interview. So my scores was not that good. I have average score in step 2 and low score in step 1. So I went to do medical school again. I did Caribbean Medical University. It was just 1.5 years. And after I graduate, I got 3 interviews. And each interview they was talking with me about this, why you did that. So I believe from my experience, this is my reason to get marks this year. This is why I get marks this year. But I didn't say that everybody have to do that, but this is my experience. Another thing that is about connection. I remember Dr. Ragda, I believe, she said
Yes.
connection is not important, but I believe it is important, because if you have good CV, just you need a program there to see your CV. I have connection with this 3 individuals. They asked the program there to see my CV. When they saw my CV, they said for me interview. So I believe you need connection. This is all what I want to share.
Yes.
If anybody have any question.
Thank you, Dr. Ayman. Thank you. Yeah, I think because there's a lot of applicants, sometimes you need someone to put a light on your CV. I think so also. Yes. Connection is important. Okay, do you have any question for Dr. Muhtasim or Dr. Ayman?
I just have a comment about the connection. I believe what helped me building a connection with a program coordinator through the LOI. This is what the connection for me, not the people I know, because the second cycle of my application, I was digging for connections. Like I was only focused to make connection with other applicants, and it didn't help the second year or third year. But what helped me the third cycle now, I built connection with the program coordinator. Don't focus to send a letter of interest to program director. They're not going to read it. But the program coordinator, when you send them in advance, they will answer you. And when they start the season, text them again that you said you will look at my application. And these are the connections that we need from person inside the program. Because when you look about it, the residents who are actually inside the program, they ask them, do you have person that you want to recommend? They only allow them to recommend 1 or 2 person their max. They're not going to recommend us unless if they know you for sure. Like they know your story, they know you in a personal way. But the program coordinator, they don't need to know you in a personal way to recommend you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ragda. You raised the good points. Thank you again. And now we're going to go with Tahani Abag, or I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tahani. Congratulations, Tahani, again.
Thank you very much. And hello, everyone. And congratulations for everyone who matched this year. And sorry, and best of luck for those who didn't match. Yes, I want to say to them, don't give up. I passed through the same situation and I matched after 3 years of application. I'm an old graduate. I graduated in 2008. So I was thinking that the match is impossible, but it happened. And if I did it, everyone can do it. And every year I used to add something to my CV. Like I add more US clinical experience, more publication. I started a master of public health and I did this research fellowship. In the last year, I did step 3 and I work more on the interview skills. I think this really helped me. I would like to thank Dr. Abir Sheikh. She helped me a lot in improving my interview skills. Also, this fellowship helped me a lot. I talk about it during my interview, and it has a positive, really has a positive impact. So, yeah, if I did it, like one can do it. And if you have any question or need any help, I'm here to help. And also like to thank you, Dr. Nadir, for this fellowship and for his letter of recommendation. It helped us a lot.
Thank you, Tahani.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Tani. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, so I have a couple of questions. Maybe you can help me. If you can remember, what kind of questions did you ask? They ask you about the fellowship, and how did you answer? If anyone interviews them, or it's been a while since you did the interview, but when they ask if they show interest in the fellowship, what question and how you answer them, if you can share all those. Thank you.
I can start, Dr. Nadir. As I said before, I got accepted as nephrology fellow. They asked me about in the interview, they asked me about the Telegeriatric Fellowship. They asked me, is it accredited program fellowship? The second question asked me about how long it takes. And third question, they remember. They asked me what is the telegeriatric. The first one, what is the telegeriatric, and it's accredited. How long does it take? And they asked me about the publication. How many publication did you get? And they asked me like 5 questions. I forget the last one. Oh, the number of the fellow. Yes. So if anyone can share their experience with during interview. Dr. Mahfusim, you
No, go ahead. It's okay.
Sushma, yeah, you can.
So in my case, nobody asked me about the fellowship, but I myself spoke about the fellowship. I just, like I told you, they asked me, what have you been doing since the past 1 year? So I spoke about the fellowship. I said how, how there are like scholarly activities, like we have like similar to journal clubs, and people present topics, and and I also mentioned about leadership, because I said how we are divided into teams, and we lead teams, and we conduct research and do projects, and prepare presentations. So I spoke about leadership skills that I've been acquiring from this fellowship. That is what I wanted to add. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for me, I get one question. They ask me, how do you keep yourself updated and with new information? I mentioned that this fellowship we have meeting and we discuss about like health topics every week, and we have the opportunity to participate in the grand round at Michigan State University. Those are things that keep me updated, and they also asked me about tell me about more about this research fellowship. I think the interview that the program that I matched at, there's no one, I think, other than me get interviewed there. So they didn't know about this fellowship. They asked me, what is this fellowship and what do you do? And I talked that we have a virtual meeting and we discussed about health-related topics, and we learn about the interview skills and have several publications through this. And I think they like the idea of this fellowship. Even they asked me also about the publication, the one that I did. It was first author about the vitamin D. I told them that they asked me why did you choose this topic? I told them I have a patient during one of my rotation have a vitamin D deficiency, who has diabetes, and they asked me about the role of the vitamin D in diabetes, and so that I went search about that and did this publication, and I told them that I learned even from my patient, and this is thing that helped me to be updated.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
For me, the question about the research fellowship, it wasn't a direct question. They asked me like, can you tell us about the time when you worked in a team? So I mentioned the research that we are individual from different medical professional, pharmacists, dentists, and doctors, and we work together by sharing our information to make the whole thing. So, and they asked me a question about the leadership, and this is the next time when I mentioned the research fellowship. And I remember the only program who asked me if it's based in Michigan State University. I said it's a virtual platform that's using. So I told them how we do and what's the objective of the research fellowship and everything else. That's how they asked me about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ragda. And what about Martasim?
As I told you before, in all my interview, they asked me about the fellowship. I think the first question was this fellowship, is it an actual fellowship or it's kind of like a virtual platform fellowship, and what you do in the fellowship. And I asked them, we present case and we have discussion every week, and also we have a discussion at the in small groups. Then they asked me, could you tell us, did you present any topic down there? So they asked me what I present, and I told them about what I present in the last couple of months. And they asked me what the research you're involved in. I told them what the research I'm involved. But in every interview, they ask me what is it and what is your role in it. In each interview, this is my two questions.
Yes, I have one question from our match fellow. First of all, many congratulations again. And as we are being an old graduates, like, should we stick with our application as I applied in IEM, but I am getting suggestion you should switch specialty, maybe pathology is right now maybe is more easier to get, and I want feedback on that. Should we, because I love to practice as a IM physician, but what should your feedback, what you experienced? Did you girls change your specialty by applying 2-3 years, or you just stick with one specialty and you got match?
So yeah, in my case, I was interested only in psychiatry, and you said, people did give me this advice to change fields, to try easier specialties. But I've been focused on psychiatry ever since my graduation. and all my letters, all my experience, everything was only in psychiatry, and I only wanted to do that. So I just stuck to psychiatry, and that did make it harder for me because it was a pretty competitive field. But I just kept doing things to strengthen my psychiatry application only. And yeah, so in my case, it eventually worked out. So yeah, I'm just sharing my experience. I really don't know what advice to give you. So I think others will be able to, give you better advice.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Sushma.
Actually, this year I applied. My passion is internal medicine, but this year, as a backup plan, I applied for family medicine as well. And what's helped me, because I want to be a BCB, either internal medicine or family medicine. So it wasn't hard for me to focus my personal statement in both fields and my experience as well. So I applied for family medicine and I got interview from both internal medicine and family medicine, but I ranked my internal medicine first.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ragda.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Ahlan. Hi, Abir. Congratulations.
Thank you. First, I would like to say congratulations to all fellows who match and good luck for the rest. And it's okay. We went through that situation. I feel your pain, but it's okay. Your day is coming soon, and you have to collect yourself and to start as soon as possible to prepare yourself for the next match. And I want to answer the question first regarding applying for multiple specialties. In my case, I'm all grads. I applied for the last, this is my 5th cycle. And every time I got 2 to 3 interviews, first 3 interviews, and then 2. And I applied family medicine and internal medicine. Last year, I got 1 internal medicine and 1 family medicine. So it's doable to apply for multiple specialties, but be sure to write separate personal statement to each of them and different letter of recommendation, 4 for internal medicine and for at least 4 for family medicine. And also your application, it should be toward both of them if you apply for family medicine and internal medicine. This year I got 2 interviews, 1 family medicine and 1 internal medicine. I ranked family medicine first. So my advice to start by analyzing your previous application and all components of this application, like the letter of recommendations, the personal statement is very important, and the CV. It should be polished, no grammatical issues, and use the strong verb to describe your experience in your application. So you have to take care of all components of the ERAS application. And good luck to all. And if you have any question, just ask or contact me directly. I will be happy to help everyone. Regarding the fellowship specifically, I didn't get specific question during the interview about the geriatric fellowship, but I brought it up myself during the interview. They asked me specifically about my work experience, and I meant to brought it up by talking about my abstract to American Medical Association. Also, I advise all of you to take this opportunity because now they accept the abstract, and the deadline, I believe, the last year, July 17th. So you have to prepare that. It's very easy, but it's very strong in your CV, like presenting in American Medical Association, and you can talk about that during the interview. Also, if you need any help, writing an abstract and submitting to American Medical Association, I'll be more than happy to help you. So if you have any question, you can ask. Thank you again, and good luck.
Thank you,
everyone.
Abir. Yes, thank you, Abir. I want to ask you how to join the AMA.
Yeah, you can make an account as an international medical graduate. There are a lot of questions, just fill the application, and I think the fees about $35 as international graduate. But I think you have to put your ECFMG ID, I think something like that. And then you can, if you are a member, you can submit an abstract. And they give you membership for 1 year, I think.
Oh, that's great. And the abstract, when I submit it, is it free or I have to pay also?
Yeah, it's free. Yeah, it's free.
Oh,
it is called American Medical Association Research Challenge, and you got an opportunity to win a $10,000 grant.
Okay.
Yeah, so this year planning to submit an abstract and aiming to win this grant one day. I'm not sure when, but
inshallah. When Allah willing, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So, thank you, Abir.
And regarding other thing that helped me a lot this season, connection, it works for me. And last season, I got also family medicine interview with connection, but I didn't match. But this time I did a second look. I visited the program and it's play a big role. So the program ranked me. Then the interview preparation, I worked in this component because many people advised me to concentrate and change my interview skills and approach of answering question. So I think, interview, how to answer the question is very, very important after you got an interview.
Okay, thank you. And you said you visit the program?
Yeah.
Without invite you? Before the invite
I asked if I can come to see the program, and my intention to present myself. So to increase my chance, and they accept that, and I think they arrange because I met many applicants during 1 week.
I think
so,
great.
Yeah, but we can talk extensively about this. If you decide to go to visit the program, there is a list what to do, what not to do, because it can make or break the deal. So
you can talk about that.
Yeah.
If you have a time, yeah.
So
Are
thank
you
you.
able
There
to
is
discuss that?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Abir. Are you able to discuss that? How to do when you try when you choose to visit the program, or you can discuss that later?
Yeah. Okay. If you visit the program, you have to be humble. Okay. Don't give anyone direction. Like if you have a lot of experience, don't say, don't do that, or we do this in different way. Give them that you want to learn. And I remember one faculty who say, you have a lot of experience, so you can teach the resident. I replied, no, I want to transform my experience to American one. So I want to keep silent, to listen and absorb, and I want to learn from you. So you have to, do every activity. They start the day early from 5 a.m. until the last one leave the hospital. You have to do everything. Show them that you want to learn, and attend any activities like morning round and noon conference, lectures, something like that. And be friendly and smile, something like that. And their communication skills is very important when you go to a second look. Don't ask silly question like the vacation, something like that, like the the money, the parking, the meals. Don't comment about that things. Just concentrate. You want to learn and to progress.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
You are
Habib.
welcome. You are welcome.
I think Malaz, you want to talk?
Hello,
about-
everyone. Yes.
Mhm.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Dr. Nadir. Congratulations for those who match and good luck for those who didn't. Inshallah, next cycle will do. Alhamdulillah, I match in Rochester Unity, internal medicine. Basically, I graduated 2014, so I'm old grad. This is my second match cycle. What I did differently, in this cycle, I got my ESFMD certificate. I did US clinical experience. I did more researches. I believe research matter a lot for me because I got 3 interviews. In 2 of 3 of my interviews, I have been asked extensively about my research. I have like a few abstract and posters, but names matter. I believe Michigan State University name was very attractive in my CV. I have been asked a lot about the fellowship and also the posters and abstracts presented in very well-known institutions like AMA, like American College of Cardiology conference, and like these names really matter. I remember on my first interview, I have been the BD. He told me like, you did this, you did this, you did this, and you're doing a fellowship. He asked me just one question. It was regarding my fellowship. Tell me more about your fellowship. And I described exactly what we are doing, our weekly meeting, our concentration on geriatric health issues and on research part and on the project and how we are working in teams and how we are working with people from different professions. And he was amazed with the fellowship. And then he jumped to my research, and I discussed part of my research. Another interviewer in the same program, he asked me, and I think this was a click. He was primary care physician, and I did one research talking about music and aging, and I talked in my personal statement regarding music, and he was interested in music, so we talked a lot regarding this matter. And he told me, I will remember you with this, and I will go and read your abstract. So I believe the fellowship helped me a lot. My second interview also, the program director, he asked me a lot about my, he asked me in each part of research, like I have 3 or 4 poster presentation, like 2 abstract published and 1 maybe manuscript. He discussed each one of these in details. And also he told me, I will remember you with one research. We did vitamin D and link with diabetes. And he told me, oh, this is my first time to know about this. I will remember you with this, and I will go and read your manuscript. So I believe they kept remembering me with my fellowship and with research I did. That's why I encourage you strongly to focus on doing abstract and poster presentation, which is not that hard and it will not take a lot of time, and to publish it in a well-organized names like American Medical Association, like Abir said, and in Alzheimer Association also. The second thing, I believe you have to act like a connection for yourself. The first program, I got my first interview from program in which I did observership. I tried my best to impress them, and I got an interview like in my second or third week, and I knew from what I saw in their eyes, they will give me an interview and they will rank me high. So try to do a lot of your clinical experience, try to work hard in the experience itself. The second thing, connection matter. Connection really matter. If it didn't work with some, it worked with a lot of us. So try to reach out to people who match early. Early, don't reach like after the season already started. And for me, I have a lot of help from my friends. Abir, she helped a lot. She helped us a lot. She helped me and my friends and most of the females from the fellowship in interview preparation. So thank you so much, Abir. Rayan also from the first batch, she helped a lot. Even I used to talk to them regarding my emails. Should I send this email now? Can you revise my email? So don't be shy at all and ask help from anyone at any time. Also, what I did differently this season, I did my step 3 after like maybe few days after the no 3 weeks after they started to review the applications. My step 3 result came, and at that time I had a strong reason to contact the programs to send letter of intent and at the same time update letter. By this way, I believe I got 2 interview. One at the same moment I send letter of interest, and another one at the second day from my letter of interest. So doing like step 3 at the start of the season, updating the programs, sending a lot of letter of interest as what mentioned already is really important. And having a lot of US clinical experience also, I believe it's important. Regarding interview, I felt like try to know the interviewer well. My first interview, I know that I was like doing my observership, and I know a lot about the program director, the one who will interview me, from the residents, and even I know them well. So it was like a chat. I know their personality and what they want to hear and how they want me to talk. And my second interview in Rochester, where I matched, also I reach out to someone who graduated from the program, like randomly searching about someone who doing residency in or finished residency, and I contacted with someone who was very helpful, and he told me a lot about how the program director is thinking and how the other interviewer is thinking. I went to the interview, and I know them. I know a lot about their personality and even their personal life. So I have a lot to tell them and a lot to chat. And I didn't stress myself even. And I was really honest during my interview. The very important point also to have a specialty directed CV. My CV was very obviously directed to internal medicine. I applied just to internal medicine, and it was my passion. I didn't try to do anything else. And the third thing, having good letter of recommendation. And it was like a point of discussion in my two of the interviews. You have very good LOR from your ICU experience. They said like this, they said like this. From your US clinical experience, from your research experience. So try to have personalized and good letter of recommendation, and try to reach to us early, inshallah, and we will help. Definitely. And please do a lot of abstracts and posters meanwhile while you are preparing for the next season. And I would be very happy to help each one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Malaz. And don't mention that I didn't do anything. This is your effort. And congratulations again.
Thank you so much, Rabi.
Thank you so much, Rabi.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Malak, and many congratulations for match. And I have one question, like as you mentioned about the observership, I also did observership when I applied, in my state, like when we are going to the hospital for observership, we are just going with physicians to see the patients, and we observe how they are writing the notes and how they are taking the rounds and everything. But we are not allowed here because they still have COVID policy. We don't have to talk with patient, and so what kind of should we do observership through the SCGME, like paid up? I mean, we have to pay up for the observership. We go through that way, or and because I got favor from one of my physician, I round with him, and he gave me a good letter of recommendation, and I also used to go in the morning till evening and see how he seeing the patient, how he doing the round, and how he writing the notes, everything. But we are not allowed to talk with patients. So please guide us regarding the observership.
Oh, thank you. That was good question. I believe what worked for me, gaining the trust of my attending from the first few days. I used to answer his question. I wasn't shy from day one. I was very nice, talking to all the residents. And from the second or third day, despite that I should not, because it's an observership, touch patient, or even no, he gave me he asked me to see with him patients, take history, and even sometimes to examine the patient. And daily I presented like one or two patients, and I was discussing the plan by myself, what the resident really do every day. And I used to do a presentation maybe each today. Uh, like if I didn't do presentation today, I will do it tomorrow. And I focus very much on this to like show them I'm confident, and to talk to them regarding my experience, regarding what I did, and to discuss each issue. And he was very supportive, really. So I was acting like a resident, and they gave me this authority. I don't know all the programs, but my advice is try to gain the trust of the attending and the residents you're working with as early as possible, and try to be very nice and very helpful. I used to even ask them to bring for them water because they were very busy, to bring for them foods and to help them, in very tiny details. They were very busy, and I was I have nothing to do as the first few days. So they have very good impression regarding my personality from day one or two. From the first week, they were acting like I'm actual resident with them. I don't know for the other programs, but I was lucky to be to have my observership in such program.
Yeah,
Thank
please,
you.
can you mention which program? Yeah, thank you.
I did it in United Health Services in Wilson, in New York, Binghamton.
Okay, great. And you went through the SCGME, because in my state, they have SCGME program. They are charging 2,000 per student for the one month of observation. So how it works,
Oh, no,
in
no,
your
no.
state?
For me, it was free. I have my friend, she's working in family medicine in the same hospital. So she went to the program director, she went to the program coordinator, and she talked to them about me, and they accepted me without anything.
Perfect. And
That's it.
yes, very good, very good. And Dr. Malas, the next question, I'm asking so many questions, but we need to clarify. Yeah, and does anybody in ask from you in interview why just observership? Why not externship or hand-on skills? Or you got the letter of recommendation of externship work on hand-on skills?
Okay. Firstly, I'm very happy to answer your question, so feel free to ask me. I'm here to answer your question. Uh, the first point, that my actual observership, I did it after I submitted my application. So it helped me gaining interview from program, and it helped me to I trust them. I trust them that they will rank me high. So at least I was 70% sure I will match. If I didn't in other program, I will match in this program. So I took it just as I have to be connection for myself. I have to grant an interview from them, and I have to let them to rank me high. My other observership was in Michigan, and no one asked me in details. Just they will ask me, tell me about your experience in this place, and tell me about your experience in this place. No one asked me detailed question, because it was just 1 month here and 1 month here. They asked me about my experience in Saudi Arabia, because it was for 3 or 4 years, and my experience in Sudan, my experience in the fellowship. But experience for 1 month or less, they will not, or for me, they did not concentrate a lot on it. I hope I answer you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Malas. Yes, I got the idea because everybody is saying like you have to work on hand-on skills, like like beside observership, work in any hospital that count much more important than just observership LOR. So that's why I'm asking.
Yes, yes. But even if it's observership and you had the chance to contact patient, and you should write it. You should write it. My plan was if I didn't match this year, I will write clearly about my observership. I saw patient, I examined the patient, I presented 2 cases at least daily. I was planning to mention all this because I did it really.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Good luck.
So thank you. Thank you,
And
Malaz.
I have a question. And Malaz, congratulations, Malaz. Do you match in the same program that you did the observership in or no?
Sheza, that's a very good question. You know,
Yes.
at the last moment, I shift my rank order list. I know they ranked me high, but I didn't. I put Rochester first because I hear about the program a lot and it's better than that program. So I didn't. But I feel like if I didn't match in Rochester, because it was a risk, I don't know anyone there. And I thought they will not rank me at all. I will match in UHS.
Can I ask a question too?
Yeah, go ahead.
First, congratulations to those follow who matched this year. We wish you all the best in the upcoming journey. I do have two brief questions. One is, as the previous individual was asking about the observership and externship, because nowadays they tell you that you should have a good hands-on clinical experience, especially in the US. And the problem is when you apply for externship, they do have a package where they charge you $4,000 to $6,000, and you say 4 to 6 weeks with them, and then they guarantee 3 or 2 letter of recommendation. Sometimes the program which offer you this is either out of your state or financially not capable for the person. So recently I got a chance to at least gain that hands-on experience in a private clinic. And most people I advise, they say that it's better to have observership in a hospital or university rather than on a private setup, because most program directors, they think that you got that as a favor or you just put it to boost your CV. So is it okay if you do hands-on experience, for example, in internal medicine, privately owned rather than doing observership in a hospital, which will be labeled only as observership? And my second question is also about the previous caller who said that sometimes you can polish the observership program as hands-on experience. But I recently reached out to a person, he said that if you label the experience as observership, 95% of the program directors, they know that you're not allowed to touch in observership packages. So even if you touch patients in observership, it's advisable to say that I examined patient, I did physical examination, I did this. Thank you.
Hello. Regarding your first question, I believe hands-on experience always better. And like I said, I deal with observership as something to grant an interview. So my plan was to work as an observer or as an extern in program in which they can offer me an interview. So I will not go for large university program because already I'm old grad. I will go for community program and program in which I can fit. So my advice is to go for community program and the program in which they can offer you an interview and they can rank you. Regarding your second question, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I was wrong, but this was my plan because I really did this. So I don't know what's the correct answer.
No. I'm not saying it is something, but I'm saying it just when you label your experience as observership, do you know that observership usually consecutive 30 days, and they allow you to observe them as a clinician who's not allowed to touch the patient. So when, for example, if you include that I examined a patient, I did physical examination, I did epic chart, I did this, would it be like a red flag?
I don't know. I asked my attending at that time regarding this, and he also agreed to describe it as I did. He told me, you did this, you did this, you did mention what you did. I didn't like do charting, or I didn't have the actual access to the medical record by myself. Like I used to see with a resident, so I will not mention I have the access to, and I wrote and I use it and like this. I have an idea regarding the medical record, and I saw patient, I present them, and he told me, yes, you can present it as what you did. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what should be done.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Yes, Dr. Malas, because I agree with other fellow like he's talking, because like when we are going through our observership program, we have to sign a form. We have to sign up the form, like a consent form. We don't have to talk with patient, and these are the like prerequisites for any hospital when we are applying for like observership. That's why we are more worried, because if we are saying we are just observer, we are observing, and we are like writing in our CV resume, like we are rounding with physicians, and we are seeing patient, and we are getting the LOR, like personalized LOR. Okay, this this doctor did this thing. So this is a controversial, because as we are mentioned in the CV, just we are observer, and in LOR we are mentioning like hand-on skills. So these are two controversial things. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, you have to match between what's written in LOR and what you will write in your like CV when you are setting about your observership. But I have no exact answer. This is what I was going to do. I'm not sure. Maybe maybe that was not the correct answer.
Can I comment?
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
This.
So, Rabi, you can comment.
So regarding observership or externship, I think it doesn't matter, but you have to describe what you did and what you gained from this experience. I remember last year I had an observership. It is virtual, and it's very helpful in my application, and during my interview they asked me about that, and I described it. It doesn't matter you have to take direct history from the patient, but you can discuss the case with the attending, with the team, with the resident during the table round. They want you in the hospital to see the environment, how it is work, the workflow, like the sign in, the sign out, how you answer the call, how you run a code, something like that, not just history and examination. And regarding the HIPAA and the violation, something like that, if you work as a medical assistant, you have direct contact with the patient. You examine, you take the history, and you can just upgrade that. I worked as a medical assistant before, and because they know I'm a physician, the physician asked me, what do you think? What's your plan? What we gonna do? So you can describe that in your application and talk about that during the interview. But doing an observership and writing it is an externship, I have direct contact with the patient, and the letter of recommendation contradict that is red flag. Don't do that. But I don't have any, for the previous seasons, I don't have any letter of recommendation from the hospital based. It's just the previous season, it is virtual in university program, but it is virtual. The other clinical based letter of recommendation and experience. And what you gain from it, it's more important than whatever it is. Observership, it is just the names of it, observership or externship. And they know you are a doctor, you know how to take a history, how to do a good physical exam, but they want you to know the work flow here in United States.
Yes, thank you,
Yes,
Abir. Yes.
exactly
You're welcome.
what Abir said. And the important point is to match between the LOR and what you should write. If you are allowed to write like it was an externship, and in the LOR you're like the attending or the consultant will mention this will be good. And if it's not, you have to state it as an observership, not hand-on experience or externship.
Thank you. Thank you,
Or you
Dr.
can
Malaz
say
and
thank you
Arvish.
so much.
Thank you.
US clinical experience. You can say that.
Thank you so
I
much.
think
Yes,
the
thank you.
US clinical experience cover the externship, observership, or the hand-on experience for all three. What do you think, Abir?
Sorry, what's your question again, Arid?
I said that he can write that it's a US clinical experience. It's covered it's covered the observership or externship, and also the US clinical experience. We can say US clinical experience for all those three. I mean that.
Yeah, but if you want to be specific, it's better to be specific. It is hands-on clinical experience. I gained this skill. I did this and I did that. It's better to describe the experience and what you gain from it.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah,
And
it's better.
Yeah. Just to add it up something. Last time I was going through the package for US clinical experience. I think there are 3 packages. For shadowing, you are allowed to shadow a doctor statistically and correctly only 2 days. For observation, most of the time is a month up to 2 months consecutive and uninterrupted. Yes, clinical experience, the third one is the externship is 4 to 6 weeks. So in the rank order, if you are lucky enough and get hands-on clinical experience of 4 to 6 weeks where you examine patient, take physical examination, I think that's the best. For observership, it's usually 1 month consecutively, 30 days, working days, they say. If you get observership, it's not that bad, but shadowing is only 2 days. That's why I was a bit confused and keep on asking the question of when they allow you to observe. If you are lucky enough, some nice doctors, they allow you to evaluate the patient, take history, they show you what the epic system chart is, what to do, what not to do. And the reason I keep on repeating this question is because one of my friends who applied this year did the same mistake. So he was doing observership for about a month, but the doctor was lucky enough to write a letter of recommendation for him. So in the letter of recommendation, he specifically said that Dr. X is doing this, doing this, and he takes physical examination, he takes this and that. So the program director, when he read that, the first thing he asked was about the technicality of how the observership was done. He wanted to know whether this paper was simply polished in order to help him get into the residency or not. So that's why, okay, in observership, if you are lucky enough, they allow you to touch patients, they allow you to do physical examination, which if you are lucky, then you can title the paper as saying observership, but in the details of the letter, you can kind of play with the word. But if you get externship, you are lucky. So you have confidently say that I did this, I did this, I did that.
Yes. Yeah,
Thank
I think
you.
you're right.
Exactly.
Yes.
This is what happened with me.
Yep. Okay. And I would like to add also one thing that helped me when I came here. I was the medical assistant certificate. I got a medical assistant certificate through the American Registry of Medical Assistant. You have to apply through the link, fill the information, and send them your medical school diploma and your work experience, a letter of recommendation. And I got the certificate and I work here as a medical assistant. In my application, I said I work as the assistant physician. So in 2 of the interview, they asked me about what do you mean by assistant physician? I said, yeah, I work as a medical assistant and at the meantime, I discussed with the physician the case. I examined the patient because he know I'm a physician. He give me this opportunity, and it's helped me a lot to know the coding system and the EMR system here. And in my last interview, they asked me about this, and you asked me specifically if I know the EMR system, the coding for the disease diagnosis, and yes, it's helped me a lot. And everyone can apply for the medical assistant certificate, and he can work with it. So thank you, everyone, and anyone who would like to talk about it or her experience.
I think
I have
go
one
ahead,
question.
Kamal.
Everyone live here in the United States. That means he has experience there. Did they ask about the gap in your career? The other question, did they ask about your what do you do now apart from
Dr. Talal, sorry, could you check your speaker? We couldn't hear you.
okay.
Your voice interrupted. Hello?
Is that okay now?
Yep. Yes, it's okay.
Okay. I'm asking about the people they live here in United States. When you live here, that means you are not practice medicine. That means you have a gap. Did they ask about the gap of your career or your experience here in United States? Because especially if you have, for example, more than 2 years or 3 years here in United States. The other question, did they ask uh, about your actual job now? And for example, as Arij now, she mentioned, if you are a medical assistant, that's help you like this. Did they ask about your actual work here inside United States? Because, as we know here, when you live in United States, you have to work because, you need money to live here. Did they ask this question or no?
In my case, they asked me yes about in one of my interview, the program director asked me, when was the last time you touched patient? I told him yesterday because I was. He said as a medical assistant. I told him yes, as the assistant physician, I did examination, and the provider in the clinic allow me to do examination and discuss with him the case and the plan of management. And he adds that, when was the last time you treat a patient as a physician? So yeah, so I said 2019. This was the last time, and yes, I by indirect way they asked me about the gap, but it helped me. I think this as medical assistant, it helped me a lot to know the system here in US, and also it helped me in the interview, residency interview, and the fellowship interview. And yes, in the fellowship interview, when the program director know I know the EMR system, I think he decided to give me this opportunity, because also they asked me if you have a kids. I said yes, I have a kids, and they asked me about the age of my kids during the interview. So, but I think the medical assistant certificate here, the job here helped me also, and also I did residency in my home country. This helped me also. But in the residency interview, during I got interview from Michigan, Detroit. Also, the program director asked me about the medical assistant. He asked me about the volunteer experience here in US, if I have volunteer experience, the work experience, medical assistant, and yeah, they asked about it.
Mhm, mhm. I think this is important point, because, for example, if you want to apply for GMC in United Kingdom and Ireland, this is a big flag sign, the gap uh, in your CV. And here the people in United States, they stay long time to get this interview and to match, sometime 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And usually I ask myself how they can answer this question. Thank you, Dr. Arif.
I have a question in the same area. Congratulations, all guys.
Yeah,
Hello?
go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I wanna know, like, did you add the medical assistant certificate to the certificate section?
You
Because there
mean
is
in the RAT application or where?
yeah, there is a
No, no.
site, like, do you have any certification or license? I mean license.
No, I didn't add it, but I put it at in the work experience.
Okay.
Yes. And in every interview, they ask me about this, the medical assistant and the job description. To be honest, I said I'm assistant physician, not physician assistant. But because the physician assistant, you have to do like 2 years, I think, or 3 years. The physician assistant, but I wrote it as the assistant physician.
I mean the medical assistant, like, you said they gave you the medical assistant license from here,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I know, I agree with you. Did you add this one to the CV? Like, when they ask you to upload if you have any
No,
license?
I didn't. No,
Okay.
no, I didn't.
Yeah. Mhm. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to add something here aloud. So regarding the gap, you can cover the gap by doing teaching, medically related job like a technician, nurse assistant, or anything related to medicine. It could be with your actual job, non-medically related, but to cover the gap, you have to be sure one day you will apply and they're gonna ask you. The first thing during the application, if you have a big gap, it may ruin your chance to get an interview. And if you get an interview, definitely, if you have a big gap, they're gonna ask you. So you have to have a reasonable thing to tell and about the gap. But the best thing, you can join virtual research or fellowship or teach medical student to cover the gap, and at the same time doing something beside to support yourself financially. But big gap, it is a red flag in your CV. Even also I remember I hear that doing higher degree like a master degree can cover the gap.
Yes, I agree with you, Abir. You have to fill the gap with like a medical related job, medical assistant, technician assistant in I think the nephrology in hemodialysis. You can work as technician, dialysis technician. As Abir said, you can do the teaching. Also, this fellowship it help because it help to cover the gap, and also you can do the master degree in public health. So Nafisa, you wanna add something? Sorry, Abir, you wanna add something?
Yes, hi. Thank you. Congratulations, first of all, for all the match applicant. You really deserve it. You work hard, and your hard work definitely pay off now. And for everyone did not match, your time it did not come yet, but you definitely also you deserve it, and it just is a matter of time for all of us to get matched. So my question is about like for all the match applicant. I see that Dr. Abir and Dr. Malaz, as you also are each, you mentioned about what exactly um, you think like change in your application to get matched. Because the other qualification, some people, they have the same qualification, but the only one, especially for those who is like um, repeat applicant, what the most important thing you think is different from the last year, what not you match this year? I see Dr. Malaz and Dr. Abir, they already answered that, but that for the other applicant. And the other thing regarding the assistant physician, so the assistant physician, I worked for almost 2 years as assistant physician. My job description is actually assistant physician. I didn't work as medical assistant. Our office have as medical assistant. So and even like whenever any patient came to the office, they actually they said that we have a physician assistant physician in the office who can help you first before the doctor comes. So that's it's different from program to program. This year, this program, they considered me as internship. They didn't, even though I said it's assistant physician, I clearly mentioned the role and everything. Last year, they didn't actually even care about this position. They was looking for, inpatient experience more than outpatient. And I think that's different from program to program. Last year, my program, it was like mainly for international, I mean, for American student. Um, they do not actually take a lot of international. So for them, they care more about inpatient. And regarding the inpatient question, the experience like observership or internship, they want a specific experience. They want it on patient, and at the same time, it has to be in program which provides residency. It's a in residency program hospital. They don't want any hospital because the experience for them when you see resident, you work with resident, is different than working in any other hospital who do not provide residency program. So that's the two comment that I would like to add. And my question is still just in what exactly could be different from your last year to making master's year. Thank you for all of it.
Thank you so much, Nafisa. Anyone can answer? Okay. Dr. Nafisa, you asked a question. Is that right?
Sorry, I didn't hear yours.
I said you asked a question at the
Yes,
end?
yeah, I asked a question, but I think like for the we have Dr. Abish already answered and Dr. Malaz and you yourself. I think the other applicant they're not here or something. I
Okay.
asked for that like just from their
Mhm.
experience, what they add to their CV different from
From the previous year.
Yeah.
Okay. So
For me,
anyone
was
would like to talk? Ragda, you can go ahead.
the different thing for this cycle was a step 3, the research fellowship, and I actually hired someone to do my personal statement and my ERS CV. And in regards of experience, I don't even nothing. That's it. The research fellowship. I didn't even gain a new US clinical experience beside this. That's it.
Okay, Rhoda, if you can share the number or the information of the
She's one of the residents in New York, and she's not actually specialized in doing the thing. I just found her on Instagram, and she was okay doing it. And yeah,
okay.
I'm okay to share her number and everything.
You can ask her first. You can share it in the group, in the Telegeriatric group after that, yes.
Okay, I will share it now in the chat. I will share her Instagram account, and you can DM her from there. And
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone who would like to add advice or talk about his or her experience? Dr. Fathia, I don't know if you can able to talk about your experience.
Hello.
Hi, Dr. Sophia. Go ahead.
Hello. So this was my first cycle, and to be very honest, I decided on like very last moments, like beginning of the year in 2022. I gave my step 1, and then I gave my step 2 after a few months. Then I gave my OET and got ECFMG certified. And then I gave my step 3 and did my rotations as well. So within a period of, I think, around 10 months or even less, I managed to do everything. But because of that, I wasn't able to focus a lot on my application. And in fact, one thing that I call as my mistake is that I did not reach out to people and did not ask for help. Being kind of an introvert person, I was not very easygoing to ask for help to people. So I think like this was my biggest mistake. And although having good scores and enough USC, but I still did not had enough interviews. But Alhamdulillah, I matched. But still, I don't want people to repeat those mistakes, and I want to make sure that people get enough USC and also ask their mentors or their physicians to write personalized LOR, because that matter a lot. A generic LOR doesn't count as much as a personalized LOR does. So that is one advice. And the other advice would be that you should always reach out to people and ask your friends even to connect you to with other people, because I literally had zero connections and it was really hard. And sometimes I felt like it's not going to happen. But I think you should seek advice and should look for people around, because I know there are people who want to help. It's just you have to go out and reach out to them. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sobia. Congratulations again. Do you have any question for Dr. Sobia, guys?
Yes, Dr. Arij, I have one question. Like, as I am residing in like Tampa, city Tampa and state Florida, so when I am targeting to like, applying for my like residency, so there's a few like HCA programs. So I want to ask from my MEST fellow, what their thoughts on HCA program. I think every state have HCA program. So I want to ask, like, is it like good to apply in those, or like they are, because they are not lenient at all. I heard about it, but I give them like I like applied over there. I say like maybe it's work out. So I want to ask from my MEST fellow, is anybody have experience about HCA program?
Sorry, what's the name of the program again?
Yes, HCA program, because like in Tampa is like a city, And Florida states, there are so many SCA program, hospital, like for example, SCA, Brandon Regional Hospital, SCA, Oak Hill Hospital, like that SCA, but in the front is HCA.
HCA.
Yeah.
I don't have idea about that.
Experience,
Hospital, yeah,
but,
Hospital Corporation of America.
yeah, actually, I don't have experience with them, but I know that they prefer like newly graduate within 2 years. Most of them write that in their websites, but I don't know anything
Yes,
else.
Dr. Tani. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Tani, and many, many congratulations to you too.
Thank you very much.
So thank you everyone for your advice and your experience. Anyone who would like to add or ask question? So
thank you everyone, and thanks for the tips, for your experiences and sharing all this recommendation or advices. One approach I would advise to look at for those who did not match is to look at your application. The following things might be a repetition, but follow the look at what the gaps, what can you do to improve. The gap in the area, like Dr. Khan was mentioning, let's say you are here in the US, what can you do? If you are interested in family medicine or internal medicine, you can do many things. One of them you are already doing the fellowship in pediatrics. So we know the population is going to be a lot of older patients coming to the hospital, to the clinic. So if you mention that you are working on something towards this population, you will be unique, you will add something to your CV. But if you are, let's say, I'm gonna pick on Adinash or Maya, you are in Florida. What I would do is I will join the AMDA, the American Medical Director Association, or the AGS, the American Geriatric Society. Be a member at that Florida chapter of the, and they will be happy to have you. Try to be a member active in the, they have like for newcoming or graduates or residents, or they want to get you to do a fellowship in geriatric, or if you are doing fellowship in geriatric, they want you to do a fellowship or be a long-term care, specifically have care medicine kind of fellow. So they want you to focus on this area in geriatric. So by becoming a member in one of these or both of them, basically it's more or less free or $60 minimum amount, but you will be involved in some of the activities. You can try to join them as a researcher, tell them I want to be in the whatever committee they are doing, just volunteering. It could be just a few hours a week to Zoom meeting or phone conference meeting. So this one thing. The other thing, you look at free clinics in your areas. If there is any clinic that offer free services to uninsured or underserved population, try to spend maybe half a day, maybe a few hours, during whatever time you are available to them. That would, number one, expose you to the EMR. So when you have interviews, you will talk about your experience with EMR. Number two, the clinical experience, you are touching the patients or observing how they are done, so the clinical part will be there. We can also focus on increasing your contribution as far as research projects and do like publication as far as posters, or as I did mention, NA is a big one. But think about ABS or ANDA. If you present there, you will show them that you are really interested in going that route, like focusing for 1 year, you are trying to get into the pediatric specialty. So you need their like first step to get into internal medicine or family medicine, so you can apply for. So this is thing that you can do during the gap or anything the gap, and you can apply that in any state here in the US if they have some chapters. If you have some programs near you, let's say you are here in Michigan and you have MSU, they have residency program in nearby or in for example. Try to visit in person, try to approach them in person, see if they can accommodate you as a visitor, and then see if there is any opportunity to do rounding with them, even on the weekend with residents as observers. That's a good thing, so that at least you will know how the flow and how the EMR. And then from inside, you can build your connection and see if there is a possibility for official experience, like the clinical experience from the US, if they offer that either in the hospital or in clinic. I know in clinic there are some physicians, they have their own clinic, they offer that. So by all doing many of these, you can get the gap at least reduced, or you show them that you are doing something. Attend the weekly or bi-weekly meetings at the grant round. Many programs offer this online. So here at Stero and Mizzou, they have their it's not bi-weekly. They attend, you can attend it's on Tuesday, 1 hour, so you can update yourself. Neurology, you can attend that in the morning on Fridays. Other programs like UFM, or if you have a connection to other programs in other areas, they have their own grand rounds. You want to get the link and try to join this. You can do CME, recorded webinar or grand rounds. Try to update yourself maybe once a week. You can look at, I'm not sure, you can try to get recordings from big institutions like Harvard or Mayo Clinic, if they offer some weekly updates, recorded grand rounds or webinars or lectures. So you can put that. I was doing this on a weekly basis. I'm trying to get myself up to date in these areas. So there are different ways to improve. Volunteering is another area. You want to mention that you are doing some work, like the free clinics. It's a volunteering opportunity if you can get into that. So we can talk about more of this later, but I just want to highlight some of the tips that anyone can try to improve. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nader. Okay. Do you have any question, guys?
Yes, Dr. Arija, I am requesting to Dr. Nader, please can in next meeting, can we discuss about how we apply for like a fellowship in geriatric and other fellowship, because I want to get the experience, from our previous fellows who matched or who are applying for fellowship program, because I have no clue. I want in this next cycle, I want to apply for both residency as well as fellowship, but I have no idea. So can we next meeting, can we discuss about how we proceed for fellowship, Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. I think this is a great idea. So some of you mentioned the Master of Public Health, if you want to do that, or if you want, as Maya mentioned, you can do other or apply to other fellowships. And there are people who apply to geriatric fellowship that accept people. The requirements for some of this program will be if you have a U.S. either citizenship or green card. If you have experience, not necessarily in the US, but overseas, if you have step 3. So if you have these 3, these are most critical. Then you can add more as publication or other experience here or recommendation letters. But the requirement, because they want someone to start working by July. So you can apply to some of these programs who accept it. Some of the fellows here already went through this program. So from batch 1, batch 2, some went to nephrology, some went to geriatric fellowships. So you can try to get information and apply to these programs. If you didn't do step 3 in the next month or 2, try to do it and apply to them. Or you can apply now and mention that you are planning to do step 3 in whatever month, let's say by the end of April, I'm gonna be finished with my step 3, something like that. The other one program that's in my clinic, mostly in Florida, but they have some program in Rochester or Minnesota. So they have similar to our program, but in person. So they want you to do some research. So they hook you up with some mentor or some clinical researcher kind of. They give you tasks and projects. So the more you are involved, it's unpaid, but the more time you spend, more projects you put in your effort, the more production you produce more than one paper. So you can get into this as well. Some of the fellows here did that, and they match either to residency or match to fellowship. And then I think one of them, while he did Mayo Clinic fellowship, then he did a geriatric fellowship, and now he is accepted to residency. So you can go there through the back door basically to get into residency. So there are many options, but hopefully they can talk either Wild or Lina, maybe some other fellows who did their fellowship. They can come and tell us more about how they did it and what they are doing. Thank you so much, Maya. This is a great point.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nader. Thank you.
You're welcome. And regarding the NDH, you don't have to. I know it's kind of a long shot and different area. You can start by picking some courses, maybe online courses towards a certificate, and then the certificate you can obtain more than one towards the NPH. So you don't have to go through an NPH program, the whole, not sure, 1 year or 2 years program to get to finish that. I know some of you already have been accepted or working on programs, but the idea itself is if you mention that I'm working towards a master's degree in public health, but I'm taking, let's say you are taking a class in epidemiology. The class itself will be a short one. You can do it on a part-time basis, and then you can add another course. Make sure it's accredited and can be added to your request credits for the MPH, for example. So you can do that. Last year, I think some of the fellows did that. Lobaba, one of them, he showed me, I think she was doing that as well. So you don't have to actually get into the master program, but you can do the certificate or some courses towards a certificate and then towards the master if you want to. I did some, like I started with one class in leadership and then one class on organizational skill or some coordination skill and then a third class. So the three gave me a certificate. So kind of you can also do something like that. It's kind of very approach or steps, but you can do it that way as well. Thanks.
Hi, Dr. Nadir. I would like to add one thing regarding AMDA. Last week, I present my 2 case reports and that was a great opportunity. Also for the applicant who live there, it's great to join AMDA. While I'm presenting my case report, I was kind of shy actually to make connection with people because that's like it's first time for me to meet them. But I was surprised that they initiate the connection. Like I have the family program director. She actually took my contact email. So it's kind of easy. It's I was surprised it's easy to just meet other people, to make connection, and to go like further with them. So that's just a small addition regarding AMDA. If anybody live there, so definitely you will find a lot of opportunity with them.
Excellent. Yeah, this is also a good point because even in our program, like we have a new chair for the family medicine. When I told her that one of our abstract was accepted to family physician kind of group conference, international one, that was from that's Arkansas or some place that one of the fellows is going to be there. So she told me, I am also going to present there. Tell me her name and phone number so that we can get in touch. So yeah. So, and I think other fellows also from this group presented in other conferences and met some programs or program directors or at least faculty members. So you can build that as well in these conferences. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nadir, and congratulations, Nafisa, for your presentation. You did great job.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, and definitely next week I'll be sharing my experience there and talk further in this. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And send us the pictures.
Yes, definitely I'll do that.
I think Dr. Nadir Amal supposed to present her topic about how to build an app, but I think we don't have enough time.
I agree.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. If Amal is available next week or in the future, maybe you are.
Hello, Dr. Nadir.
Go ahead.
How are you? So first of all, I would like to apologize for my late joining. I was not aware of the time differences. The time has been pushed for 1 hour forward. So I was not aware of that. Rayan sent me a message and I joined like 10 minutes later. So I'm ready. I can present at any time. I don't have a problem with that.
How long would you think it would take? Not more than 1 hour.
So Rayan and I are going to present the topic. We are going to take about 1 hour. Just we're going to go through each stage from 0 up to publishing to Google Play.
Okay, so let's do this. I know some of you might have other things to do, so you are free to get in bed or you can go to your stuff, and this will be recorded. So for Amal and her team, you can continue working or presenting, and this will be recorded. So other fellows can look at it in the future as well. Thank you, everyone, and we can conclude the meeting for those who will leave. Thank you. I wish you all the best. Do your best if you didn't match. Congratulations to those who matched, and all the best for all of you.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Nader.
You're welcome. Thank you, Arish, for moderating this.
I will stay. I'm a part of Amal team.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And for those who will stay, thank you.
So Dr. Nader, should I go ahead now or
Yes,
sorry,
please.
but
Yes,
okay.
yes. No, don't be sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm glad to have you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Let's share my screen. So thank you very much, Dr. Nader. Thank you, Dr. Arid. Hi, everyone. I'm Amal Amin. I'm the INR project leader. And first of all, I would like to congratulate our fellows who have matched. And I really wish all the best of luck to applicants who did not match. And I'm very sure that your hard work will pay off one day. So I'm here today to share our story of how we went from no experience in app building up to publishing an application on Google Play. So let's go. So our journey started like 3 months ago. We are a group of fellows who shared the interest in problem solving, learning new things, and challenging ourselves. So as it is the case with learning anything new in this life, app building was not very easy at the beginning, but we were very lucky to have Dr. Nader's support throughout the journey. And also app developer communities and YouTube are also great resources that can answer almost any question you have. Okay, so before going into details of how we developed an application, I want to share with you the importance of developing an app. Why should we develop healthcare related applications? So the first reason is that you're going to participate in improving healthcare by saving costs and saving lives. So in the United States, 90% of the $4.1 trillion spent on healthcare is spent on chronic illnesses. In Canada, chronic diseases are responsible for 89% of all deaths and over $80 billion in healthcare per year. And around the globe, chronic diseases will cost $47 trillion by the end of this decade. The second reason is that you will provide more convenience and lower cost burden to the patients. How is that? So by providing 24/7 access to healthcare, patients can contact healthcare providers at any time from the comfort of home. And by allowing 24/7 communication, you will enhance the patient-physician relationship, which is vital to good quality healthcare. And you will also lower the pay-per-visit expenses. Sharing like test results, adjusting medication doses, and allowing video calls with healthcare providers are all things that can be done remotely without the need to visit the office. So as I said, by providing a 24/7 access to healthcare, enhancing the patient-physician relationship, and lowering costs, patients will better manage their chronic illnesses, which is ultimately going to lead to lower healthcare costs. And this takes us to the first point. You're going to improve like healthcare spending and solve a major problem in healthcare. So app building can also reflect who you are as a person. When you tell someone that you developed an application, they will immediately think that you must be like a smart person with an innovative mindset. In fact, this is not difficult at all. You don't have to be smart to develop an application, but this is what the public thinks. And it's something in your favor when you want to apply for a job, for example, or for a residency spot. Okay. Also, this process like truly reflects your problem solving skills. Like app developers share their love for problem solving. And because life is full of obstacles, problem solving is a quality that every organization look for when hiring a new employee. It also shows that you are a caring person, you are selfless, given that you participated in improving healthcare and making life easier for patients. So we built our INR Guard application using two platforms, Glide and Codular. It was a web application when we built it in Glide and transformed to a native mobile application when built in Codular. So what are the differences between a web app and a native app? So the first difference is that a web application can be accessed through a device's web browser, but a native app is installed into the device itself. Like when I want you to access my web application, I provide you with the link, and you will notice that when you click on the link, this will take you to the web browser first, and then the application is going to be displayed there. But for a native application, you have to click on an icon that is going to take you to the application without having to go through like the web browser. The second difference is that a web application is shared via a link, but a native application is available on app stores like Google Play and App Store. Third difference is that a web application is a single app can work on most devices capable of surfing the web and does not depend on the operating system. Like I make only one app that can work on both Apple devices and also can work on Android devices. But if you want to build a native app that you want to work on both Android and Apple, you have to build this one app in two different ways. Like the way you build this for Android is going to be totally different than the way you build the application for Apple. Also, another difference is that a web application needs internet connection to work. You will notice that our Telegeriatric Research Fellowship application, it works only with internet connection. If you lost your internet connection, you will not be able to access the app because it's a web app. But in native applications, you can access a native app entirely without any internet connection. Another difference is that, or I can say this is a disadvantage related to web applications, is that safety is not guaranteed. Like a web application, I can access your information, I can steal your data, like hackers can also access this very easily. Unlike a native app, it's very secure because most native apps are uploaded to the Google Play or Apple Store and go through a very intense security checking process. And that's why the applications that are downloaded from an app store, they are very safe to use. Another difference is that in web applications, the process of building a web app is less time consuming. You can build it in a very short time. But native applications need more time to build. Web apps also can be launched easily, like as soon as you complete the process of building the application, you're just gonna distribute the link to everyone there and everyone can download your application. But in case of native applications, they need to go through approval by Google Play or Apple App Store. Like the process of approval by an app store takes long time. The last difference is that a web application is difficult to discover since they are not hosted in an app store. Like it's difficult to distribute your application. If you built an application in Glide, it's difficult to distribute your application to the world. But in case of native app, it's very easily you can distribute your application because you're going to upload this to a very famous like app store like the Google Play. So it can spread the world. And this is why we decided to build or transform our application from a web app to native app because we simply wanted our app to spread the word. So this is the start of our journey. Phase 1 of this process was to build our application in Glide, which is a no-code platform that lets you easily turn your spreadsheet data into applications. And as I said, it's a web app developing platform that is no code. You're not going to learn any programming language. It only depends on putting special or specific data on spreadsheet, and those data are going to transform into the application itself. Let me briefly show you how Glide works. So this is the Glide platform. This is our application in Glide. So the idea behind this platform is that data that are written in sheets, I'll show you the sheets. This is the sheet. The data that are written in the sheets like are transformed into the application itself. So sheets can be either Google Sheets, they can be Excel sheets or Glide sheets that are provided by the platform itself. So Excel sheets and Google Sheets you're just going to import them here, and then they are going to transform to the application. So I prefer using Glide Sheets because eventually they allow you to upload your application in their template store. So let me give you an example of how that works. So here, this is my welcome page. This is the first page that the user is going to look at when they first open the application. So I want this image to appear here, and then the text and those buttons. So what I do first is to add the image on the sheet itself. And then the same way, this text, I'm going to add it here. And then specify this as an image from here. Like I told the platform that this is an image, click on done, and this is a text, and click on done. And then from this black button, I just want to add an image. So that they are going to add the image from the sheet I added here. Given that I specified that the sources of my data, I want the sources of my data to come from the image sheet. This sheet, I called it the images sheet. So some features, like the buttons I added here, don't need to be added to the sheet first. You're just going to add them to the page and give a function to that. Like those buttons, you're just going to add a button. You don't have to write it in the sheet. And then from here, you're going to add a function. Like you want this button to open a new page, to open a new form. And that's how it works. So for the sake of time, I might not be able to discuss in details how to make an app in Glide, but in the Telegeriatric Research Fellowship YouTube channel, you can find 2 INR meetings where Dr. Nader discussed the process in more details, which was very useful to me when I first started. So I strongly suggest that you consider watching them. So now we're done building our application in Glide. We liked that. We liked what we did. We were very proud of our achievement. But we had one question in mind. How can we publish this? How can we reach to users all over the world? And the answer to that question was to put our application into a famous mobile store like Google Play. And because our Glide app is a web application, we had to transform it to a native app because only, as I said, only native apps can be put on the store. So there are two major ways by which you can develop a native application. The first one is using programming languages, and there are many programming languages out there. As I said that if you want to develop Android applications, you have to learn either Kotlin or Java. Those are the names for the programming languages that you have to learn. For Apple iOS, there are two languages. They are called the Objective-C and the Swift. An example for a platform is the Android Studio, which is the platform that you are going to write the programming language inside to build an application. The other way is the using no-code platforms. Those platforms you don't have to learn any programming language to build an application there. And an example for that, the MIT App Inventor and the Codular. So because we have to focus on other things, our medical pathway, our USMLE journey, the best option for us is the no-code platforms. Of course, there is nothing impossible to learn. You can go and learn programming languages, but it takes long time to do that. So I advise you to go with this if you are interested in building a native app and eventually upload it to a famous mobile store. Another important point that I want to mention is that no-code apps are not inferior to applications that are developed using programming languages. You can develop amazing and powerful applications using no-code platforms. So we decided to go with Codular, which, as I told you, is a no-code platform. So let me take you briefly to Codular. So this is the second platform. The first one was Glide, and you want to transform. This is a web application. I cannot put this on Google Play. So we decided to move to Codular, where we can put this on Google Play after we finish. So here in Codular, in brief, we have two main interfaces, the designer interface and the blocks interface. So like Codular platform provides much more flexibility compared to Glide. Here you can convert almost any idea to a real application and then upload it to Google Play. You cannot upload to the App Store because here you can only build Android applications. But 70% of the world's population use Android devices. So your application can reach to a large audience estimated in billions. So here in the designer interface, you can add the colors, the images, texts, buttons, videos, and many other components that you like, depending on the app idea. In the blocks interface, as you can see here, you will bring all these components you added here, you will bring them to life. So using the block-based coding method. Let me share an example for that. So for example, I added this button here. I want when the user clicks on this button to take him to another page. So I want to program like this, add coding for this button to take the user to the other page when he clicks on it. So what I do is, it makes sense. It's self-explanatory. It says I add blocks from here. Here I go to the button itself. It's called about this application. Yes, this is the button. And then I click when about this application, the name of the button, click, do, I'm giving orders, do what to do, open another screen. I brought this one from the control section. And what is the name of the screen? I added the text about this page. So here, when the user click on that, this is going to take him to the other page. And this is like the general idea about how you do everything. Here, it's not going to take me to the other page because I'm not in the test mode. I have to be in the test mode using my phone. I'm not going to be able to do it here because it takes lots of time to connect. But in the test mode, if I click on that, this is going to transform me to another page. So now we successfully transformed our Glide app into a native app, and it's time to submit it to Google Play. Let me tell you some interesting facts about Google Play Store. First one is that Google Play, also known as Google Play Store and formerly the Android market, is a digital distribution service operated and developed by Google. It was released in 2008 as Android market and in 2012 as Google Play. It's the official app store for devices running on the Android operating system. Android dominates in global market share. It's responsible for 70% of all smartphone usage. So imagine the audience all around the world that you can reach. According to Statista.com, there are 3.3 billion Android smartphone users spread across 190 countries worldwide. Google Play has also served as a digital media store offering games, music, books, movies, and television programs. There are more than 3 million apps available for download on Google Play Store, and apps range from 10 megabytes up to 4 gigabytes. Our application is 13 megabytes, which is an advantage because it encourages users to download it because it doesn't take much space on the phone. So to be able to submit an application to Google Play, you have to first create a developer account. I will show you very briefly how you can make one. So the first step is that you're going to Google, write the developer console and click on the first link, the Google Play console. And then it takes you to this page. You're going to click on the right upper corner, go to Play console. And then they are going to ask you, do you want the developer account to be individual to yourself or related to an organization or business? Most of the time, you're going to choose that individual for individual use. And then they are going to ask you like personal data, your name, your contact name, contact email address, your country, and contact phone number. After that, you will be asked to pay $25 one-time fee for setting the developer account. After that, you can upload a limited number of applications. So this is one time, it's not a monthly subscription or on yearly basis. Unlike the Apple App Store, you will pay like $99 each year. So after paying the $25, your developer account will be ready, but the last step is to verify your identity. So they are going to ask you to provide like your passport or the driving license or your resident ID card. The weird thing is that I provided my passport at the beginning and I don't know why, but they rejected the passport. But when I applied with the ID residence card, they accepted the ID residence card. So sometimes the ID verification process can take up to 2 working days. In my case, I was lucky. It was like I got an instant reply. Like as soon as I uploaded my ID residence card, I received an email that my developer account is now ready and now I can create apps and I can start the process of uploading my application. So the process of uploading an app to Google Play is lengthy. Like it contains 11 steps. I will not be able to discuss it here also for the sake of time, but there are very important points that you need to know before you start building an application. The first one is take a look at the Google Play App Policy Center and the Google Play Developer Help Center to avoid uploading content that is in violation of the Google Play terms and conditions. And I want to tell you that this is a very intense process. Like if they found one mistake in your application, it's going to be rejected. So if your app collects users' data or geographic location, make sure to declare that. You have to declare everything about your application. They are going to ask you lots of questions, whether your application collect data, images from patients, like you allow camera, they are going to ask lots of questions. So make sure to answer in a correct way. So plan ahead for a unique and good quality functional app, because it's a competitive process. If they discovered later on that your application have low ratings, it doesn't function well, like negative reviews, they are going to delete that from the Play Store. Also design a creative and good quality feature graphic and screenshots. So during the process, they are going to ask you to provide like a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 8 screenshots for your application, and also feature graphic. The feature graphic is the image that I showed you at the beginning of the presentation. This is called the feature graphic. So try to be creative when designing a feature graphic and the screenshots. Also try to be creative when designing the app icon. The app icon is the first contact with the user, so make it attractive. This is going to help with increasing your numbers, increasing downloads, positive reviews, and positive ratings. So if you receive this email, this lengthy email I'm showing you, congratulations. It means that your app is accepted and it's now available on Google Play Store. It says that your app is now live and everyone can see it and add their ratings and reviews. So Dr. Arij, if you can hear me, like my part ends here, and Dr. Rayan should present the next slides. I'm not sure if Dr. Rayan is here or not, but if she's not here, I can continue with that.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm here.
Okay, Dr. Rayan, how are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Rayan, please.
Okay, thank you, Amal, and congratulations to everybody who matched, and Uqbal, those who are applying in the coming year, inshallah. So if you can go to the next slide, Amal. So Amal spoke to you guys about the technicalities behind the app. I'm going to continue about the application ratings and reviews and why they're important. So people use ratings and reviews to decide whether or not they should or should not download an app. It's very much like when you go to a restaurant. You look at the reviews first, and the higher the review, the more appealing it is to the person. Same thing with the application. So when we found out and we looked at the user acquisition, so which user acquisition is the act of gaining new users for an app, platform, or other service, we found that 79% of the consumers check ratings and reviews before downloading an app. So it's not just the ratings that are important, but at least 1 in 4 of them will check the review and read it, and that will be a deciding factor as well. 53% will check ratings and reviews before updating the application. So even if you have it on your phone and they'll initiate some sort of update, again, 59% of those people will go back, and it'll be another deciding factor whether or not they want to upload it. Maybe they'll see a negative review that just popped up. That could also be another factor for them for whether or not they're going to update the app or have it on their phone or delete it. And 55% of them check ratings and reviews before making an app transaction. We also found that when it comes to different stars, so there was a website called App Radar. They did a study and they found that when an application jumps from 2 stars to 3 stars, it can increase the App Store conversion by 306%. And a jump from 3 to 4 stars can also increase the App Store conversion by up to 92%. And it also showed that a lot of users, if an app is rated under 3 stars, they're most likely not going to be downloading that application on their phone. Okay, next slide. Okay, so again, now I'm going to talk to you about how the number of ratings and reviews affect the App Store ranking. So like I said prior, I gave the example about restaurant. So let's just imagine that Google Store is, it's a storefront, right? So they're providing a product to a consumer. So they want to create the best product for their customers. So if they're highlighting a low rated product or a product that is infrequently rated, it's pretty much they're telling their customers that they don't care about the quality of the products in their store. So the higher the app that's being rated, and the better the reviews, it's going to reflect on the editorial choice app. So here, this is the page from Google Store. It's showing the editor's choice app that they chose. As you can see, every app on here is rated over 4 stars. It's going to be more appealing for the consumer and allow them to be able to upload the application. So going on to ratings and reviews and how they contribute to app branding. Yes, sorry, thank you. So when your app has a positive user feedback, the users will be able to trust the brand more quickly, and there won't be as much pullback on it. So the users are proving that, or providing a proof that your app reflects well on the product that you are presenting. Okay, we can go to the next one. Okay, so Dr. Amal right now, she's showing you guys, sorry. Yeah, so the picture that Dr. Amal is showing you right now, this is how, sorry guys, okay, I can see it now. So this image right now that's being presented, it's showing you the number of downloads of the application and how they're gonna appear. Sorry guys, showing you how they appear in incremental brackets. So in the downloads in the Play Store, it's going to appear in +1, 5+, 10+, 50+, and so on. So what that means is for us right now, when you download the application, it's going to only show 10+. Why? Because we haven't reached the 50+ downloads yet. So they're different increments. So the increments are we're only going to hit 50+ downloads once we reach that number, if that makes sense to everybody, okay? And now, inshallah, I'm going to let Dr. Amal share the application itself, and we'll go over it.
Before you jump, Dr. Amal, can I ask a favor? Can every one of you, if you have an Android phone, can you download the app? Thank you. Now you can go ahead, Amal. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nader.
Yes, download and give it an honest rating and write a review if you're able to do that. Thanks.
So now I'm sharing my phone screen, and Dr. Rayan is going to take you to the application itself and review the components. Go ahead, Rayan.
Yeah, so once you download the application from the Google Play Store, you're going to click it. It's going to open the INR Guard. It's going to show you the main page. The affiliation, Michigan State University, the Geriatric Fellowship. And so in the main page, it's going to show you all the components of the application. So it has about this app, user guide, my profile, my updated info, next dose alarm, about INR, YouTube videos, disclaimer, and copyrights. So we can click the first one about this application. So this is just a welcome page. It's just going to introduce and welcome the consumer or the customer to the application. So it talks about the INR Guard and why we've decided to build it. So we created this app in hopes to educate, monitor, and help patients adhere to their treatment plan. It also shows that the app allows users to set alarms. So it's initiating and it's kind of giving you little bits and pieces about the app in general. So you're able to set alarms for upcoming doses. You're able to track the progress of your INR results and share it with healthcare professionals. And it's also like it's telling the user that they're able to take control of their treatment and improve the compliance. So some additional features here, again, it's just giving you guys different points. So regular INR, next dosage, reminders, information sharing with healthcare providers, everything I just stated. So we can go back to the main screen. You can click user guide. So user guide is just going to go through everything. This is more of like the settings. So it's going to describe and tell you exactly what to do in case there's any sort of conflict or misunderstanding. So for updating your profile, it's going to indicate this is where you put the information. And we have it where there's like certain screenshots. We've highlighted each section in red. That is important. And it's telling the customer, whoever's not as tech savvy, how to clearly input their information, be able to save it and share it. You can keep going down, Dr. Amal. Again, the next portion, one of the components is setting the alarm. Again, it's showing you in red box here how to do it. It's giving you an explanation. So for the alarm to function, keep the app running in the background after the setting is done. Again, about the INR page, it's showing each person different settings that we have. So we can stop here for a minute. So in the user guide, here it's telling them that with the about information about INR page, we did something different. It's called text to speech. So depending on if there's any visual problems for our customers, they're able to actually click the green button. And what's going to happen is that there will be a read aloud about the information that's being presented. Okay, so you can keep going down, Dr. Amal. Okay, again, it's showing you sort of features. So we have YouTube videos, and that's the visual educational part of the application. It's telling you how to play the video, how to end the video, where to click, etc. Perfect. We can go back to the main screen and then I can talk more about that, the rest of the stuff. So when you click my profile, so this is the main profile. You're able to, write your name, put your date of birth, the target INR, the last INR result, etc. And there's different components. You can go down, Dr. Amal. And the continuation of the days. What we can do is actually we can get Dr. Amal to put our information so that we're able to save it and present to you how it'll look for a consumer. Okay, so here Dr. Amal set her information. Regarding the medication dose, I just want to explain that part right there. So we have the medication dose in milligrams and then the continuation, the dose for a certain number of days. So what this does is it provides the user the information about when they started their medication. So if a physician requests, okay, when did you take this medication? Or what was the first day you took this medication? In case there's certain different drug interactions that may have occurred, they have that information present. So it's almost like a calendar keeping that information, as well as how for how many days this person should continue the medication for. If you can go back to the main screen, Dr. Amal. And here the button, there's a share button. So this button actually allows you to share that information with the relative physician. So you can do it through email, whichever way you're able to connect with your practitioner, there's that option to be able to share that information with him. Okay, and then if you go to my updated info, yep. So this is going to give you the updated info. So for the last time you were here, this was the info that was present. You can always go back to it and see it because it's always going to be saved on your profile and on your account. And if you forgot to share it last time, again, go back to my updated info and share it with your physician. We'll go to next dose alarm, which I think is a really neat feature. So this is really neat because you can set an alarm to allow you to remember to take your medication. You know, people have so much stuff going on in their lives. So this is a really neat feature that we were able to have. So right now it says alarm is off and we have to click to set the alarm. So if you can try to do that, Dr. Amal. So right now it says alarm is off. Did you set it, Dr. Amal? If you can?
Yes, I set the alarm and it's ringing, but I think like others cannot hear that. You won't be able to.
No problem, but I'm sure you guys get the gist of it. So when the alarm is off, the button is green. When the alarm is on, it's going to be red. So we've made it to change colors. And again, it's going to just remind the patient to take their medication. We'll go back to the main screen. Okay, so about the INR before we click, so we have two sections. We had mentioned them earlier. So we have the about INR, we have the YouTube videos. This is the educational portion of our application. So what we've done is we provided both a text version of the application as well as a visual portion. So depending on how our user would like that information present to them, we have different options for them. We can click the about INR. Yep. So here, for example, if you click what is INR? So each section has different information relating to it. So if a person wants more information about what is INR, why am I having to put it, or just to get more understanding, this is where it's provided. Regarding the blood thinner medications, it's explaining to you what they are. It's explaining to you your side effects here. And one neat thing is like visiting another doctor. This is something that we added. So when you click visiting another doctor, this is telling the customer, notify another physician of the different drugs you're taking, just in case there's a risk of bleeding. Because if you're going to, say, for the dentist or whatever, like it's making sure, warning the individual that this is the reason for it. The other section that I found neat was the food and warfarin interaction. So those who are taking warfarin, if you can click that, Dr. Amal. Food and warfarin, you can click that one. So for us as physicians, we know, but sometimes our consumers, they may not know. So this is just giving them a little brief about, hey guys, there's different types of food that can interfere with the medication, right? So kale, spinach, Brussels sprouts, all those like leafy green vegetables can interfere with the medications that you guys are on. Go back to the main screen, Dr. Amal. We don't need to click all of them. I'm just going to tell you guys the main points. So also regarding the alcohol, we had a little blurb about that. Again, it's just recommended guidelines that we found. And again, all of this information, we make sure that in our disclaimer, we're telling the consumer that this is just for educational purposes, but at the end of the day, you know, make sure that you go back to a physician and you know, relay that information to it. This is educational purpose. It's not necessarily medical advice. We can click disclaimer. I just kind of mentioned it, but we can click it again. Okay, so Dr. Amal put YouTube videos. Okay, yeah, here's the disclaimer. Yep, so again, this information provided in our applications for general educational purposes only, and it is not substitute for professional advice. And accordingly, we encourage you to consult your healthcare provider. Okay, we go back to main screen. And we have our copyright section. Okay, but before we go to that, here, this is the YouTube videos. We do have pictures with each video. It is a little delayed, so it may take between 10 to 20 seconds for the image to be present, which is available now. To play the video, just click play. To pause the video, you just click the center. And again, any sort of discrepancy, you can go refer back to the user guide, which has all that information listed for the user to refer back to. And then we have our copyright. We can click that one, it's the last one. Yeah, so it has a disclaimer, and we'd like to thank the following YouTube channels. Again, when it comes to copyright, you have to make sure, it's almost like when you write an abstract, you have the references at the bottom, right? So it's the same thing with here. We want to make sure that, you know, we don't own the rights to any of the images or videos. They're just used as a guideline for the consumer to be able to use, but we don't own anything, because we don't want any copyright infringement. So the authors are listed there. Thank you guys so much for your time. I hope that this has been informative for everybody. Thank you, Dr. Amal, for allowing me to be a part of your team. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask. Any questions or feedback from anybody?
Thank you very much, Dr. Rayan, and we are ready for any question that you have.
Hello?
Hi.
I don't have any question, but it is a really impressive work. I'm so proud of you. And we're gonna learn from you. Congratulations.
Thank you so
very
much.
Yes, we're so willing to explain any process. If you have any question, we're very interested in that. We can walk you through all like any question you have and explain anything.
Yeah, I just want to also
Thank you very much.
I just also want to provide this application. So Apple Store and Google app. So the reason why this application is only listed on Google Store is because we use the own platform. So that could also be an option for the future. But the reason why it's not on the Apple Store is because of the specific platform that we use to download it and upload it. Inshallah. Yes.
So any other questions? So if no
I'm
questions.
Just,
Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead, Dr. Nadia.
Yeah, I'm going to share the screen. So this is the Google Store Play or the Play Store. So the app, so far we have 10 downloads. We have 18 fellows right now, and we have more than 30 during the meeting. So I'd like to ask those who are present and those who were present to download, just install it, and ask your family members to do the same and see if there is any thing that we can improve, anything that we can check out If none, just give us a thumbs up, maybe the rating. We always would like to have 5 out of 5. So thank you. Great job.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you for the presentation. It's excellent. Hopefully this will help other fellows to develop other apps as well.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Dr. Nader. Just one last point that I would like to share. Like this is my developer account page. Just I want to elaborate on the last point that Dr. Rayan discussed. Dr. Rayan said that the downloads appear on like something called incremental brackets. Like for me as a developer, actually we have 37 downloads for our application. This is the actual number. But for the user, it will appear as 10 because like in Google Play, they are displayed in incremental numbers. When you have 1 download, they are going to write 1 plus. If you reach 5, they are going to write like 5 plus. And then from 10 to 50, like the next step is like 50 plus. Because we're 37, it's shown as 10 plus, but we actually have 37. And alhamdulillah, we are maintaining the 5-star up to now. And we have, like here, I can see all the statistics related to the application. Let me click on the app first. Here I can see everything like behind the scenes. I can see where the users are from, like most users are from the United States. Here, as you can see, we have 16 downloads from the US, 8 from Saudi Arabia, 4 from Sudan, 1 from UAE, and we have 1 from Spain and also from Pakistan and Canada. So all over the world. So we're doing good so far, but we need your support. And we're also working our way to, like, I would like to spread my application in my home country. I would like to contact some hematologists and cardiologists there to see if they can spread this among their patients. Thank you so much.
Thank you again. And one way to look at it also, most of you would have some WhatsApp groups with other physicians in the US or other countries. So if you can just spread that in our chat with them, they can look at it. Not everyone with on the iPhone it doesn't work, but for other phone, Android phones, Samsung, and etc., they can download the app. And you can spread it to more than one group in that groups, WhatsApp group. Thank you. Excellent presentation, both of you. Thank you for sharing. Any questions? Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Amal, Dr. Rayan, and your team for this great presentation, great work, and congratulations on uploading this to the app. I think we have further steps we can do, we can improve, we can build. So one thing we can ask other fellows who are interested to we can translate, or other fellows who are interested in certain specialties, infectious disease or nephrology, for instance, or pediatric, we can develop similar apps in these areas and see if they can be personalized to certain language, let's say Arabic or Hindi or other. So we can build other stuff with the baby steps, just the same way Amal and have been. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Nader, and I'm very excited to start the Arabic translation process because I really want to distribute my application in my country.
Excellent, and this can be a joint project, so you can ask other fellows to join you, and we can ask other members from other countries. Like I know some members from Egypt. Maybe some of you in the Gulf area, you can ask other fellows to help work together so that they can at least improve their application as well as accelerate the work, as well as making sure the app will be used by whoever interested in Sudan, for example, Egypt or Saudi Arabia, just to mention Arabic speaking countries, or we can also develop other languages. If we are here in the US, I know one fellow can speak Spanish, so we can work on getting that and translate it into Spanish for those who speak the language, for example. Thank you. All right, any other comments, any other questions, any things you want to add? I know we are running late, but thank you for the presentation. It's excellent, excellent work. If none, then I'd like to once again thank you all who presented today, and thank you, Arif, for moderating this meeting. Thanks the team, everyone, presenters and attendants. And I'd like to thank who comes later to watch this video or recording. And we'll see you next week. Thank you. Have a good day or good night. We'll see you next hopefully.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Go ahead. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Dr. Nader,
Congratulations
everyone.
to all of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you very
Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nader.
Thank you so much, Rayan and Amal. Thank you. Have a good one.
You're welcome, Dr. Nader. Thank you for the great opportunity. We learned a lot. It was a very nice experience, actually.
I love it, and I love programming. So I'm glad that you did that. It's an excellent product that hopefully will help lots of people there. Thanks.
You're welcome, Dr. Nader. I hope it really helps others.
And I'm glad that you enjoyed the process of learning and meeting the challenges. I know it's not an easy thing, but you learned and fixed things and learned again.
Yes, because I always believe that we grow when we accept like painful stuff, when we accept difficult challenges. We don't grow through easy processes. And that's why I like to accept those type of things.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing, and I wish you good luck. I wish all of you all the best.